Hi, I'm Harris from Grow Life. Today I'd like to touch upon a subject which is something I'm very passionate about. It's the concept of give away, make space. Every one of us has at some point in our life, learned the art of giving way to make space. What does give way mean? Give way, and why do we give way? The giving way is the art of if an entrance or a path is blocked, one or the other person decides to make way for the other to pass on. What happens when we allow someone else to pass if their way is blocked because of us possibly obstructing their passage? We end up freeing the space for them to go forth, and likewise, in return, we too tend to have space to go forward towards our destination. The problem happens today in most lives is that we are all stuck at one place where both of us tend not to give way to the other. The fact that either one refuses to give space to the other person to make a move on is what causes a lot of problems in life, namely conflict. There is a lot of pain, anger, hatred, all these things well up. So what I would advise, any part of life, let's say you are caught in a traffic jam. A lot of us don't realize that if there is a line of cars in front ahead of you, and there's another line of cars on the side coming in the opposite direction, if you need to let the vehicles in front of you move forward, possibly you need to give a little space for the person alongside you to go forth. Possibly his movement here may release the block at the entrance of at the beginning of your queue, which will unlock the problem there, and in turn let the vehicles in front of you move ahead and the ones alongside of you. So life is all about learning to give space to one another, to create space for yourself. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is the same thing can apply when it comes to our relationships at home, when it comes to a work environment, when it comes to various other aspects in our life. The concept of give way, make space is not necessarily related only to traffic or crowded spaces or whatever. Even within our personal life, sometimes there's a point when both of us, anybody close to us, a family, a relative, a friend, or a colleague or an employee, may have a difference of opinion against us. The problem that many of us tend to do in this kind of a situation is we tend to get very obstinate about our views, and likewise theirs. This creates what you call a blockade or an impasse, if the word that I'm pronouncing is right. It causes a block which doesn't allow both sides to make headway. This is why, as they say in local language, either Malayalam or Tamil, they call it the chikku. To remove the chikku, you need to be a lot patient. You need to do it carefully and with a lot of finesse. The problem, unfortunately, happens is when an argument happens, when a disagreement happens, we tighten it, we pull it harder. The harder you pull, the more complicated it becomes. So the idea is to take a step back, take a deep breath, relax, and tell yourself, I'm going to deal with this very, very calm, composed, and in a matter-of-fact manner, without getting my emotions, or this is not about win or lose. This is about who wins or who loses. It's about either you accepting or exiting gracefully. So the idea is to try and work a solution that will hopefully be good for both of you. For that, one of the people in the situation has to give. When you give, you're not really losing. It is a misunderstanding that when you give away something, you're actually losing. That's actually a wrong connotation or an understanding of life. When you actually give, you actually receive. When you give somebody compassion, it gives you the feeling of satisfaction. When you give somebody anything in life, always something comes back in return. As they say, they speak about karma and dharma. These are all, you take any spiritual text or whatever, they will always have good things that come about for those who do good. So when you give way, give way to someone else, you're not losing space, you're actually making space for themselves, for them and yourself. So the art of giving way and making space is such a wonderful thing. If everybody were to follow this, the word called civility, which is such a powerful word which is missing so much, especially when it comes to a place where it's extremely crowded, little gestures of kindness, little gestures of warmth, little gestures of understanding. Little child looks a little lost, is worried. Somebody giving it a smile is all the child needs to know or realize, that to make it realize that the world is not such a bad place after all. The world is filled with the most important creatures that God has created, humans. You expand that, the word humanity comes into place. So if the word humanity has to coexist beautifully, or rather humanity and other aspects of life have to coexist beautifully, the concept of give way, make space is an extremely essential aspect of life. And whenever you give way and make space, you don't bring yourself down, you raise yourself up. And along with you, you raise others up to a higher level. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Please don't forget to subscribe, to press the bell icon. I'd really admire a lot of comments and feedbacks to tell me how I'm doing. There are times that even I feel a little worried whether am I creating value or am I not, or is this a wasted exercise? But I don't think so, because anytime that I feel a little concerned whether this is of any value, I have people like Ayman, I have people like Bala, I have Jabina, I have Roshan, who was the first person who commented on my videos, and a lot of other beautiful people, Ahmed, all these people who have been motivating me to keep it going. I pray that I'll have a lot more people to motivate me, to comment, to give me feedback, to advise me what is it that they expect. Bala has also requested for a little class on training, on talking about business, how to get started. I have been in business for 25 years, so I may start a small feedback on that. I'd also like to extend on bullying the class that the previous video that I made. Bullying is such an important aspect, cannot be finished in one video or two. It needs to be extended, because bullying, a lot of us believe, happens only in colleges or schools or institutions. It happens even at home, even within our four walls, sometimes unwittingly, between brothers and sisters. Even parents can tend to be a little more fair or less fair to one child or the other. All these things, just small acts of making fun or etc. constitute bullying. Not really. If it's a one-off, it's okay, and it is not too spiteful, doesn't hurt or cause pain that a person deems a weakness. When you keep pulling them down on that aspect, is what makes them feel bullied. So coming back to those things, I'll come to those videos later. But for now, I'd love you all to comment, subscribe, and make me more inspired, because inspiration comes from those whom you see both ways. For me to hopefully give you some value in your lives, and your feedback and comment will do no end to make me feel very inspired and happy. Thank you so much. God bless you all. I wish you a lovely day, and subscribe and hit the